Within the house, too, a cleaning regimen was followed with almost military precision, and its timetable was extraordinarily elaborate and exacting, a whole department of human activity specified in relentless detail. The popular household manual, the experienced and knowledgeable Hollands householder, De Everine en Verstandige Hollandske Huishoudster, devoted an entire chapter to the holy rite with strict instructions on the several tasks to be tackled each week. The steps in front of the house, the path leading to the house, if any, and the front hall were all to be washed every weekday early in the morning. On Wednesdays the entire house was to be gone over. Monday and Tuesday afternoons were devoted to dusting and polishing reception rooms and bedrooms. Thursdays were scrubbing and scouring days, and Fridays were assigned to the unenviable job of cleaning the kitchen and cellar. Besides these standard chores, dishes had to be scrupulously washed after each meal, and the household laundry done each day. Such were the demands of this regimen that it was laid down that when sheets were folded, it was imperative that the end used for the feet never be accidentally turned so that it could be used for the head. Pillows had to be plumped up each day and let stand for the specified hour to permit the feathers to breathe to avoid lumpiness. Chairs and tables ought to be carefully cleaned, cobwebs removed in summer, the floor inspected inch by inch for telltale signs of insect eggs or droppings, and appropriate anti-beetle or louse measures taken, with lye on the floors or a mixture of chalk and turpentine on the walls. Moths could be repelled with camphor, and flies and wasps lured away by a strategically placed honeypot. There was even an entire routine devoted to cleaning domestic animals. Cats were said to be too disgusting to be compatible with a decent household, and though dogs had their unsavoury habits as well, these were offset by their importance in helping the security of the house. This is all very banal in the 20th century, but in the 17th it all seemed a bit much, the product of an obsession rather than a reasonable concern for salubrity, and it seemed especially bizarre when the compulsion overrode the normal conventions of social decorum. It was one thing, though tiresome, to be absolutely prohibited from spitting, either before or within the house, as though it were an inexpiable crime, but it was positively presumptuous to be obliged to doff one's shoes on entering and replace them with fastidiously provided slippers before being received. Sir William Temple was amused by the story told of a magistrate visiting a house where the strapping North Holland lass, marking his shoes were not very clean, took him by both arms, threw him upon her back, set him down at the bottom of the stairs, pulled off his shoes, put him on a pair of slippers that stood there, all this without saying a word, but when she had done, told him that he might go up to see the mistress who was in her chamber. This was related by a Dutchman in gentle self-deprecation, but it became part of a traveller's mythology in which the Dutch were all too ready to ignore the polite conventions of rank in the interests of a clean floor. And while travellers were astonished to behold the daily ritual of washing not merely the stoop but the pavement in front of the house, it also made them feel a little uneasy. Such devotion to wholesomeness did not seem quite normal.